think I've always been a nocturnal animal, you can say. Um, I can't sleep at night. I think like 10-11 बजे के बाद, I think when the whole world sleeps or when they go off is when like my mind wakes up and I feel my spirit come alive. Um, I don't know, maybe it's because, the energy of the world kind of like sombers down. क्योंकि दिन में काम होते हैं, like आप किसी और frequency पे चल रहे होते हो, and then um, as the day goes by, you you calm down, and by night, like half the world's asleep. So the entire reigning energy frequencies around the world, I think, are less, and there's more space for your energy and frequency to go out there and uh, find its expression in some way, you can say. So that's why, like, I work best, like I think the best at night. I work the best at night when I'm alone by myself. And then the obsession leads to me working subah tak, matlab, at least till I see the sunlight. So jab मैं studio से free होता हूँ, I always like step out and I walk out in the sun. So I go in the studio at night, I walk out in the sun. A lot of people say obviously it's not like healthy. Understandable. But हो सकता है ज़िंदगी में आगे जाके maybe I find my own time, but for now I definitely will remain a nocturnal animal. And इसी से मुझे पता नहीं किस तरह क्या like subconscious में आपके क्या होता है, मुझे बस एक random fleeting thought की तरह बस एक line आई थी, which was, और वो composition के साथ ही आई थी. It was like सारी सारी रात असी जागे नींद ना कदी सानू आवे ना नशें च डूब चली जावे. वो तो खैर not literal nashe, but for me, in this particular context, nashe च डूब चली जावे for me just meant काम का नशा, art का एक नशा. Because whenever I create something at night, the best high that I feel right after is जब मैं स्टूडियो से बाहर निकलता हूँ और it's dawn और मैंने अपने फ़ोन पे पहला बाउंस निकाला होता है डेमो अपने प्रोजेक्ट का, and I just like I have like the phone like right here, and I would just like listen to the song on my way back to the studio, you could say. So नशियाँ च डुब चली जावे चैन ना कदी सानू आवे, so forth. So when these lines just like came, I was like, I need to. कुछ नहीं कर रहा यार, क्या हो गया bro? Easy हो जा bro. So yeah, like when these lines came in is where I felt थोड़ी सी shape तो देनी चाहिए in like a song or something. And I first came up with this line, I think like what, 2-3 years back or so. And कोई गाना ही नहीं ऐसा बना था where I could like fix this, and I really wanted to make it happen. और फिर eventually क्या हुआ था कि this formed into some sort of like a Qawwali. Not really Qawwali, I would say, क्योंकि पता है Qawwali का ये scene होता है, I'm not classically trained, I don't know जो राग होते हैं मुझे उनका नहीं पता, I'm not classically trained. I'm not aware of like जगहें क्या होती हैं और कवाली की composition exactly किस तरह बनती है, but I could just hear that if this particular composition is sung in a Qawwali style, which is like a lot of backing vocals and layers of vocals, so it might be something. तो सारी सारी रात असी जागे नींद ना कदी सानू आवे सारी सारी रात असी जागे नींद ना कदी सानू आवे ना नशें च डुब चली जावे चैन ना कदी सानू आवे ना जेड़ा दुख तेरा लै गया सुख अपना ही दे गया सारे आंदा दिल टूट like इसी तरह बस like it just led into like a Qawwali. So जो composition जो एक idea था that like came 2-3 years back, 3 years back, it just like developed into कि oh अच्छा ये ऐसे हो सकता है. And I personally feel that Qawwali, the power that is in a Qawwali, with those vocals layering up और वो जो एक chant की तरह बस आता है उसका एक असर, it's just so powerful. There's nothing in the world that's more powerful than a Qawwali coming in, because I don't know, मतलब इतने सदियों से इस पूरी चीज़ का एक culture चलता आ रहा है, which is known best to spiritually just like heal you. वही उसी तरह लोग एक उसके सुरूर में like just चले जाते थे. So जब मैंने when I cracked so long goodbye with the Qawwali, I felt that this combination of bringing Qawwali into like trap music, उसका किसी तरह ना एक झोल बड़े मज़े से बस coincidentally मिलता है. It just like glues in very very well, effortlessly. So started off with So Long Goodbye, उसके बाद फिर मुझे इतना मौका मिला नहीं, and I think with this particular track I wanna play with it in a way that there's a nice trap beat, and this melody finally finds a home, in the right production and the right music. So let's see how it's gonna turn out. So the first thing that we're gonna do is figure out like some form of a chordal structure के गाने की production possibilities क्या हैं, because एक दफ़ा मैं कोशिश कर चुका था, लेकिन उस टाइम पे जो दूसरी मेलोडी थी जिस पे मतलब कवाली पे आते हैं, जो जेड़ा दुख तेरा लगा, वो वाला जो पोर्शन था, उस प्रोडक्शन पे जब मैंने वो नया पोर्शन बनाया था तो wasn't really like suiting it. और फिर वैसे भी मैं थोड़ा अनश्योर था जनरली आइडिया के बारे में. आई वांटेड कि जब मेरी एक हेड स्पेस होगी, जब मुझे क्लियरली पता होगा ओके आई नीड टू लाइक गिव इन टू दिस सॉन्ग नाउ, तो देन we'll step into it. So सबसे पहले usually what I do is play around with like a chordal structure, see the possibilities के synth work जो है वो कैसा लग रहा है. And right now we're not in that studio. Sometimes what I do is कि जब मुझे ideation के साथ खेलना होता है, which is me not really knowing कि हम exactly क्या करेंगे and just discover possibilities. वो sometimes like I don't do that in the studio per se. Like I do it in different spaces, like this space of mine over here. I think like her space का एक like every space like has its own energy. Like आप अगर मैं उस कमरे में हूँगा उस स्टूडियो में, तो I would be making something different. वहाँ पे कुछ और आमद है क्योंकि वहाँ की एनर्जी कुछ और है, और वो वैसे भी वो स्पेस, उस स्पेस के अंदर मैं कुछ और तरीके से सोचता हूँ. In this space I think very differently. Like I think क्योंकि proper studio नहीं है, and it's like not a proper dedicated space. It's more casual. I've had a lot of fun over here with my friends. So it has that energy of me just being free, you know. Not that it's not the same in the studio. फर्क सिर्फ ये कि स्टूडियो में like proper काम शुरू हो जाता है. आपको पता है कि आप बैठ गए हो कुर्सी पे, and you know like now you're locked in, and that's more of like an execution thing for me. But I just love like, you know, sometimes being in the car, sometimes just being here, sometimes being in my room just with one guitar and just figuring out, exploring दिमाग के अंदर, you know, चीज़ें चलती रहती हैं, and then I'm like, okay, now we're gonna go commit. So right now we're in that space where we don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna wake up, and we're gonna walk out of here with something in hand. So how we're gonna kick off is कि सबसे पहले I have my laptop here with me, so some of the best beats that I've made and music that I've produced has been on my laptop. Afterlife का जो पूरा section था वो सारा मैंने अपने बिस्तर के अंदर कमरे में लेट के लैपटॉप पे बनाया था. You know, you hit command K Logic के अंदर, and you know you have these Logic stock keys actually which are really good. They're basically बस ये जो classic electric piano खुलता है, just throw in a little bit of reverb and then just, you know, like see कि क्या बन सकता है गाने का. So we're gonna figure out some keys first and then see where we go with it. So जड़ा दुख There we go. जड़ा दुख सरा अच्छा मेरा one thing that I absolutely love is that I always just I love a two-step chordal structure which is just like two chords और उसी के अंदर सारी गेम ख़त्म हो जाए. मुझे नहीं आता तरीका वो जो एक प्रॉपर तरीका होता है जहाँ पे आप हारमोनियम लेके बैठते हो और जो नोट्स होते हैं उसके साथ आप फिगर आउट करते हो कि ये राग क्या है, ये स्केल क्या है और इसकी क्या कॉर्ड बनेगी. I just like play it by ear. Some people might be thinking कि उफ इस तरह की composition के process के अंदर ये क्या बंदा एक तौहीन कर रहा है एक बहुत बड़ी. लेकिन I just like go with my ear which just sounds good. It could be that these chords are wrong but they sound good to me. जड़ा दुख तेरा लगा सुख अपना ही देगा सारे आधा दिल टूटा तेरा हो गया. Pretty good to kick it off with, bro. So I'm just gonna see what the tempo is. Tempo पे दफ़ा figure out करने के लिए I just like go tap tempo, you know, just see what the whole thing is like. But मुझे जो लग रहा है ना ये कोई 80 के जरा दुख तेरा लगा टक 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 दुख तेरा लगा सुख अपना ही देगा. 89 बन रहा है. Pretty close. Although I was on the other spectrum, 90 would have been better, but मुझे लग रहा है शायद 89 थोड़ा 85 करके देखते हैं bro. Okay. Hit quantize, although when we're gonna play अभी हम कर क्या रहे हैं कि हो सकता है chords now. Majority of the times what happens is that Alistair is really good on the keys. वो काफ़ी ठेठ है, उसको पता है बहुत fit chords. Because so sometimes like when we go to the studio, जब हमने executionally काम करना होगा, so Alistair is gonna come in. I'll just tell him, you know, कि bro यार इन chords को बस बहुत खूबसूरत बना दे, कुछ कर दे, and then you know take it on from there. So फिलहाल के लिए we'll just stick to this, quantize it. But when we record the song and when we record the actual keys, we might not quantize क्योंकि Quantize is like, everything's exactly on time, which is humanly impossible. तो वो जो human touch होता है वो थोड़ा सा गायब हो जाता है. So we need that for that emotion. Okay, so next step, hi-hats. Now Logic has its own hi-hats as well. Stock hi-hats that I use just to like create a demo beat, you can say. It's trapdoor. So and then we're gonna just play around with the hats and see क्या possibilities हैं. अगर शुरू में तक तक हो जाए जेड़ा दुख तेरा, so नहीं फिर यहाँ नहीं होगा ना, पहले ही होगा. और यहाँ पे ट्र, which is like तक 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 ट्र, यहाँ ट्र अगर करते हैं तो ये ट्र का क्या होगा. For now, I mean, just good enough. Asha, ab I hear a rim, not necessarily a clap, a nice rim. So another Logic stock drum kit, which is depth charge. Interesting, good enough. And ठीक है जी. Supplementing snare, so like tuck tuck. अगर इसी को रख लें ऐसे, I like it for now. ठीक हो गया ये. So I think for now we have like what, a good enough structure to go with. 808s वो, लेकिन पता laptop का सिर्फ the only one drawback is I then have to like plug in my headphones, but you don't hear the 808s as much through the laptop speakers. So again, just Logic's own thing. So देखा, but समझने के लिए हम इसका octave ऊपर करके तो we'll just check it out. Something like that. So anyways, interesting, मज़े की शक्ल आ रही है थोड़ी सी इसकी. Obviously everything's gonna change. The hi-hats are gonna change, the rim's gonna change. I actually like the rim. I might just keep it. It sounds good enough. But the hi-hats are definitely gonna change. Kick. 808 की आवाज़ नहीं आ रही. Kick की तो आ सकती है ना. अच्छा. There we go. इसका हम compressor बोलेंगे, थोड़ा सा इसको टाइट करेंगे किक को. I hope you're able to hear through the through this mic what's happening with the kick. हो रही है टाइट. Something like that. Quantize it. अच्छा, so obviously ये necessarily इसकी production नहीं है. This is just to like explore and see the world we're gonna step into, just to get a feel, of like where the melody is gonna take us, what's gonna happen. So जेड़ा दुख तेरा सुख अपना ही दे गया सारे आता So yeah, I think there we have it. So me and Ali Boy are gonna sit in the studio and then take this skeleton over there and then build on top of this and really make it come out. Obviously, तो मैंने अभी normal keys play की हुई हैं जो हैं. We're gonna come out with those synths that are gonna be very loud and very bright and very aggressive, so that we're in the soundscape of Storm, the Storm section. So you know all these things are gonna change. Like for instance, अगर मैं थोड़ा सा छड़का डालूं, this is interesting. If I really throw it like in the back, really reverb it out and cut down the dry signal, and then also like EQ this and cut out the highs just a little bit. And what do we have? So yeah, you know, just fun. Oh yeah, बहुत retro. बहुत fit यार. So yeah, you know, we're gonna play around with the synths as well, see what we're gonna do, and I think we're on to something that sounds good. जेड़ा दुख तेरा गया सुख अपना ही दे गया साढ़े आधा दिल टूटा पर कम तेरा हो गया नी तेरे बिन रातों भी चैन खोया तेरे बिन रातों चैन खोया मैं तेरे लिए तन मन धन भी सारा खोया तेरे लिए तन मन धन भी सारा खोया तेनू मेरा होंदा ख्याल तेरा होंदा जे तेनू मेरा होंदा ख्याल तेना जिन तेरा दी सुनदा ते इश्क ना होंदा मैं तेरा दी सुनदा ते इश्क ना होंदा हुण नशेआं च डुब चली जा